Alright, hello YouTube. I just want to start going over some information that's been going out lately. There's a bunch of internet articles saying a bunch of stuff about Sony's original ideas for what the PlayStation 4 was supposed to behold. And it turns out that a lot of what you've seen at E3 for Sony, they actually originally planned to be more like the Xbox One than they were at E3. And what I mean by that is, originally, Sony was going to sell the PlayStation 4 with the PSI included in the box, just like Kinect is included in the Xbox One box. And it originally had a $500 price tag. Now, the thing I have against this is, I know people who are arguing with me saying that Microsoft is a bunch of money grubbing people because they're forcing you to buy a Kinect. Kinect is worth $100, so that would mean the console itself was $400. Now we know the PS4 console is $400, and they were originally trying to put in the PSI camera with it for $500 altogether. PSI camera is only $60. Who's the ones that are the money grubbing now? I understand that they went against that, but they only went against that so that they could look better than Microsoft. Next, it was also revealed, here's a big thing, PlayStation 4 originally had DRM just like the Xbox One did. Sony actually recalled that right before they went on stage for E3. They seen how negatively we all looked at DRM whenever Xbox and Microsoft showed that they were going to implement it. So Sony immediately just changed that setting. And if you don't believe me, there is going to be a day one update for the software on the PlayStation 4 that you are going to have to download for certain features. And one of the things that this update does is disable the DRM feature. So, I have a really big question for people like the Blackbuster Show. He made a video about how we are going to get DRM back on the Xbox because he was like, they're taking it away now, but it's still on the console, so it's going to come back one day. Those were his exact words. I want to know what he feels like now that the PlayStation also has DRM on it. And just to make everything clear, neither console has DRM, but they're still leaving DRM open to publishers. This means that for multi-platform publishers like, say, Bungie with Destiny, if Bungie wants Destiny by itself to have DRM, then that means that both on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, Destiny will have a mandatory DRM for that game. That's just something to keep in mind. And another thing that I've been noticing, a lot of comments on articles like this, they have a bunch of people who you can tell are obvious PlayStation 4 fanboys saying that, okay, at least Sony took away this DRM feature. These are the same people that were saying it's stupid how Xbox is going against its original plans. So that's just something to think about, how hypocritical some people are being. Oh, God. It's just kind of sad. Like, I really think it's sad how... I think that Sony's really smart, actually, because they have a really good business plan. They let Xbox go first at E3, and they both had very similar business approaches, and they seen how negatively we all took the DRM policies and the forced connect and the $500 price tag. So before they go on E3, they change all that. I think that's very smart of them, but I also think it's like really, I don't even know how to describe it. It kind of annoys me that they would do something like that and then go ahead and call themselves people who love gamers. They really don't give a shit about you, to be honest. I'm sorry for the language, but they don't care about you. They just want your money, and for the most part, they got it because they won you at E3. Honestly, I'm still for Xbox, and that is mostly because I like Xbox games more, the exclusives. And quite honestly, I think you should get whichever console you want. I just want you to understand that a lot of the speculations about Sony being for gamers, that's all bull. They were just like Microsoft. They had the same exact plans. And to be completely honest, I was actually for DRM. I think it's sad that all the gaming news places like IGN and all these other things that you can post articles about the next-gen consoles, they're all saying how DRM would have been horrible. Nobody pointed out the good that could have came from DRM. Not many people even understand that if you have DRM on a console, that means we would completely take away modders from games. because what would happen is your console would check in once a day on the internet, and if it recognized any encryptions or any foreign kind of codes on it, that's what mods are. If it recognizes any of those, then it can immediately take action, and it's up to the discretion of the company, Microsoft or Sony, on what to do, whether or not that means banning you or just taking off the mod themselves. I don't know if they would be able to do that. But it makes it possible to where they can monitor the modders and hackers that are on the consoles. And I was really looking forward to that. Because to be quite honest, that's the main reason I left Call of Duty. You can have your own opinion on this, but I find Call of Duty to have the most mods and hacks out of any first-person shooter. And that's not only on console, that's also including PCs. And quite honestly, I was for DRM. Personally, I always have an internet connection at least one time a day, except for whenever a hurricane hits around here. So it really didn't matter that much to me. And quite honestly, like I said, I was for it. And now, I really don't care now that it's gone. I guess that's alright. Plus, a lot of people were saying the used games things was stupid. One thing I want to point out about the PlayStation 4's upgrade system is, if you have a PlayStation 3 game that can be upgraded to a PlayStation 4 copy, you don't get a PlayStation 4 disc. What you do is, you go to the GameStop or whatever store you go and get the upgrade at, you show them that you have the disc, and they give you a code for a digital download to upgrade the game digitally. It gives your console the software it's going to need to play that PlayStation 3 disc. And what they don't tell you is, you can no longer sell that PlayStation 3 disc. It will only work on the console that the digital download was put on. So I thought that was kind of funny whenever I found that out. And quite honestly, I think used games are going to be a thing in the past. A lot of people would probably disagree with me, but think about it. Every day, digital download becomes more and more successful. And look at what's going to happen on the next-gen consoles. You can download a game the day of its release. That's so big a deal. And it just seems like people aren't going to realize that, maybe not in this generation or the next, but sometime down the line, somewhere down the line, we are going to come to consoles where we may not even have disc anymore, except for the people who literally don't have internet, which is probably not going to be very many. Maybe people who are in the army or overseas. But anyway, disc gaming is going out of style eventually. It's all going to become digital downloads and cloud storage. People need to start to realize that. And that's really just my thoughts on all this. I think it's sad that Sony did this because, quite honestly, it's an amazing business approach. They definitely got ahead with this approach, but it just kind of angers me that they got so many people to believe that they were for the gamers and they were going to be the ones that you want to trust. And it really turns out that they were just hiding all this stuff the whole time. I hope you watched the whole video and you enjoyed my video. I'm sorry if I made anybody mad. Once again, I want to let you know that I do support Xbox, but I do believe that you should go whichever console you want. And this video was merely made just to let you know that Sony did have different plans from what they have now. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.